In supporting the government amendment, could I just express an interest? Up to last February, I worked as a teacher, and my two closest colleagues were both SNAs, because I worked in a school for physically disabled children, and I have never seen commitment like I have seen from those two women and from the other SNAs in the school in which I worked. I mean, their dedication, love and care for the children was second to none and was quite inspirational at times. And I think it's important to say that. And I would also say that the school was very well served in terms of numbers, because being a special school, the numbers were small and each classroom had 2 SNAs assigned to it. Now, they all earned their money, there's no question about that. They worked extremely hard and did very good work on behalf of those in our care. So I welcome the fact that we are managing to keep the numbers as high as they are. Given the country's economic situation, it's quite amazing that we're managing to keep over 10,500 people working as SNAs. And I congratulate the Minister on being so successful in keeping the numbers in that way. Having said that, I think there is a need to review the whole working of ancillary services in schools. And I say this as somebody who was a practitioner for many years. The role of the SNA is extremely important, but SNAs were appointed in the first place in a very haphazard way. In many respects, those who shouted loudest got most, and that wasn't always appropriate. And in many cases that I would be aware of, the schools that were in the most privileged areas actually got more than their fair share.
1 minute.
And that subject needs to be reviewed. As I have to speak very quickly, could I say that I really feel the best people to decide on the appointment of SNAs would be the inspectorate in conjunction with the school, rather than the present system. I don't think that works tremendously well. Another thing that I think is to be welcomed is the increase in the numbers of psychologists from 178 to 210. I do think that number needs to be increased, and when the government can, it is most important that they put as much focus as possible on improving information technology, computer equipment and so on in schools. But I suppose my overall point is that I absolutely acknowledge the wonderful work being done by SNAs, but that the system was set up in a very haphazard way, and overall the work of ancillary staff needs to be carefully reviewed with a view to getting the best deal for children, and that's what schools are for the children or students. Thank you.